Hi guys, this is Little Cinnamon Roll Mama. Just excuse any background noises or voices you hear in the background. This was the only time I could record, and yeah, I just finished commissions, and I thought this was probably a really good way to just get my hand loosened up again. And this is actually called the OC Creation Challenge, I believe. And it's basically you create an OC based off of like their hair is the color of your shirt you're wearing, the clothes are the color of their clothes are the colors of your phone case, the eyes are the color of your underwear. Give them a hat if they're European or live in Europe. Give them earrings if you live in Americas. Add a scarf if you live in Asia. Add glasses if you live in Australia. And lastly, to put your favorite emoji on their shirt. But yeah, when I was actually creating this OC, I realized he looked very familiar. I didn't know why at first, but he as you can tell that I had trouble with that. You can tell I had troubles with trying to get his hair right, and as you saw, I tried to do different styles, but he ended up just looking very familiar to another character that I usually draw a lot, Shiro, and I didn't really want that, so I ended up just staying with that style. And I know I was supposed to create a new OC for this, but I don't know what happened. My hand felt natural when I was drawing this hair. And yeah, he's just a very, very old OC I had when I was in high school and when I was a freshman, barely starting out on making stories. And oh gosh, like I cannot tell you how cringy that story that I created is. But yeah, I could show you right now that he looks so much like the character I created, but just very enhanced. As you can see, they're very poor. I'm sorry for the poor resolution, but yes, this is Luke, my very old OC in high school, and as you can tell, he has very different styles. Every time I drew him, it's because I was very highly influenced by these mangas that I had. I didn't really have a computer to, look up different facial expressions. Yeah, I was not even thinking of my own face to create different facial expressions, the poses, and everything. And the mangas that I were very inspired by were Maximum Ride, Rosario Vampire, not the anime, the manga. God, no, not the anime. The manga's better, trust me. And Inuyasha, and much more. But like I said, he looked very familiar, and I was really surprised that my hand ended up drawing him. And he was part of this little, I guess what you call story that had so many, like I guess, endings and seasons and all this. Like I said, please forgive me. That this is when I was barely learning how to create stories. So this was very highly influenced by those mangas or comics to create a story. And he was supposed to be like a gargoyle, but look like an angel. So yeah, as you can tell, that was not very well thought out. But I really like how he came out here. So I guess what we can call this is also another, like, I guess a revamp of Luke from my really, really cringy, very first story I made called Ishi Tenshi. Yeah, I was kind of a weeboo back then. And probably still am. But as you can tell, like, even back then, I had a lot of the big eyes, and, at least I kept in how do I say it? At least it was common to see in all those other pictures that he had the big eyes. And yes, I know big eyes are not a no-no, but I ended up getting out of that phase and ended up trying to find my own style. But yeah, like I guess I could just tell you a little bit about his story or his background and a little bit of the story. Which is very cringy. Basically, he's a gargoyle from another dimension. A witch summons him to basically become her slave to take over the world. Very cliche-ish villain stuff. And, he's like, hell, I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna just escape from you and never want to deal with you ever again. And basically, he basically hides in a school full of monsters, just like another place that I know that has a monster school. But like I said, like this story was very highly influenced in Rosario Vampire Maximum Ride, Inuyasha and all that good stuff. And yeah, so I actually had a lot of my friends back then that really had loved this story, and which I'm very grateful to them. Like they were the ones that kept telling me to go on, but create my own, my own stuff. And I actually tried to do that, but I guess I was always in my little comfort zone that it was best to just copy, which is not good. But I ended up getting out of that phase soon as I went to expand my wings in a school for a while and whatnot. I mean, even at the school, at the college that I went to, I had a friend who actually read my story, and she was very, very supportive, and she even told me, like, the stuff that I needed to work on. Like, for a minute, she says, like, the story is rushed in the first 2 chapters. Oh, yeah, I was barely learning. Don't leave readers confused. Explain entire situation of story. What's the main problem? What is the vampire key? Yeah, I was like, I wasn't into that vampire stuff and everything. Explain Luke's memories or past. Introduce characters better, especially Millie. Explain dates and sense of time in manga. And show what does the monsters and our motives and other stuff. And I mean, I can continue on, but I'm noticing this is the end of the video. And so this is basically a revamp of Luke, and I hope you enjoy him. Before I ended the video, I just wanted to let you know that this was actually a microphone test. And also, I want you guys to keep out for animatics, future speed paints, future animations, projects, and many more content soon to come. Other than that, this will conclude the end of the video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Bye bye.